Well, I'm back. After a somewhat failed Facebook post today, I had a conversation. Small, short, brief, but it convinced me that it's time to start making videos again. And the videos are going to be about things that I think, feel, believe, whatever's going on in my life. It's not going to be game videos anymore that I used to make. And the video I want to make right now, I don't know what exactly to call it, but it's about what I consider to be defining moments. And I'm going to list a few moments in my life that I remember that definitively have had an impact on me. I'm going to leave some out, but let's just roll with it here and see how it goes. When I was young, I don't remember, to be honest, very young, first grade maybe, third grade, kindergarten, I don't remember. I had a teacher, and female. I had a pretty big crush on her. And I remember one day we were at lunch. We were all in the cafeteria. And she came over and asked if she could sit down next to me. Oh, I was so excited. Of course, I said yes. And she took out her lunch, and I had my lunch already. And she took out an orange, and she started peeling it. And to this day, I love oranges, but I absolutely hate peeling them. To me, peeling an orange is one of the most annoying things that you can ever do. I have a tendency to either squash the orange or squeeze it and juice comes out all over, or the peel won't come out right, come off right, whatever the case may be. It just really annoys me, but I absolutely love oranges. So she peeled this orange, and maybe it's bad, faulty memory, but it was perfect. I mean, she had no trouble whatsoever peeling this orange. All the peel came off. It was just phenomenal. I was so impressed. And she started breaking it into pieces. And she looked over at me and she asked me if I wanted some. And in my little kid way, with my heart all thumping because she was actually talking to me and she was actually offering me something, I said yes. And she gave me 3 pieces of her orange. And to this day, that is probably one of the happiest memories I have from my childhood. And I don't know, I'm sure she knew I had a crush on her. I don't remember if I ever really talked to her that much. I don't remember her name. I don't remember what age I was or what grade it was, but I distinctly remember how she made me feel. And it's a very positive memory. Moving on, and this is in no particular order. I remember in high school, I wound up getting in a fight, and I had a couple fights while I was in school, but in high school, I got in a fight, and the other kid's name was Brian. He was a jerk, whatever, and I was pretty much an outcast in high school. Had a couple friends, that was it. But got picked on a lot, not nearly as bad as some people. But he was a real jerk, and throughout the course of the year, one of my friends, who coincidentally was also named John, kept telling me all these things that he was saying about me. And they were really stupid things. Like, he would say, he'd come up to me and he's like, "Oh, John." I'm like, "John, what?" And he'd be like, "Brian was talking about you today and he said you got string bean arms." Whatever, man, I don't care. That's just dumb. Whatever. But this Brian kid, he was a jerk. He was a jerk to other people. And I don't remember exactly what happened, but I know throughout the course of the year, my friend John just kept telling me all these things that this Brian kid kept saying about me. And it was pretty close to the end of the year. There was snow on the ground. It was winter. And I remember it was a Friday. And for whatever reason, this Brian kid came up into the classroom that I was in. It was after school, and we were in the classroom waiting for the buses. I don't remember what we were doing there. But this Brian kid came up into the classroom, and he started talking crap to me. It was just stupid stuff, whatever. And I told him, go away. But he didn't. So the conversation escalated, and he started telling me how he wanted to fight me. Okay. Have at it. Go for it. Let's do it. Oh, I don't want to do it right now. We got to do it outside. Okay. Let's go outside and get this done. No, not now. Okay, whatever, dude. You're really just boring me at this point. And he's like, no. Monday morning, before school, meet outside. Okay. Whatever makes you happy, if that's what you want to do. Wasn't exactly the smartest move, but that's what I did. So come Monday morning, I get to school, and this rumor had spread like wildfire over the weekend. The whole school knew about it. How the teachers didn't know is beyond me, because, everybody was talking about it. So I get to school, a few friends I had were like, oh, you're gonna go out, you're gonna do this. I'm like, well, I'm at least gonna go out and see what happens, I guess. So I went outside to the designated area we had picked, and he wasn't there yet, so we waited. And he showed up a few minutes later, and I'm like, look, man, we don't have to do this. This is dumb. He's like, nope, we're gonna fight. Okay, whatever you want to do. And it seemed like the entire school had gathered around. Everybody was watching us. And I think he felt, and I did to a degree as well, he felt obligated to do something. So he swung first. And he caught me off guard. He caught me unprepared. And he hit me right in the nose. My glasses flew off. And there was snow on the ground, like I said. And I saw that my glasses landed one place in the snow, and I could see, where they went into the snow. But then one of my lenses went into the snow in a different area, in a different location, like 6 inches away from where the glasses went into the snow. And when I saw that, my initial thought was that my glasses were broken. And I knew I was going to be in trouble. I was going to be in trouble. My dad was going to be mad. We're not supposed to fight at school. Dad was going to kick my butt. So I got mad. And like I said, he had hit me first. But other than catching me off guard and knocking my glasses off, it didn't really do anything. And I'm kind of surprised in hindsight. But because I was mad, and because I thought my glasses were broken, I hit back. And and I hit him hard, and I didn't know it at the time, but I guess a large number of his bottom teeth went through his lip, and blood just started spraying everywhere. And I could see, I mean, his eyes, I guess he was in shock. I don't know what it was, but he was completely out of it. He had no idea what was going on anymore. But in his defense, for anybody that likes fighting, he didn't fall down. And he swung back and he hit me. But there was nothing behind his punch. It was like a little kid tapping you. I mean, this is how out of it he was. And he hit me, and I'm like, dude, man, stop. This is over. It's done. We're done. And then he hit me again, and then he hit me a third time. And everybody, the crowd, was just cheering and yelling, go, go, hit him, go. And they thought the blood was coming from me. And I didn't know if I was bleeding, but I knew that he was bleeding. And he was going to hit me a fourth time. And I grabbed him and I stopped him and I said, look, dude, man, stop. This is done. You're out. And about then, one of the teachers showed up. And he came up and he separated us. He saw me and he's like, John, what are you doing? This isn't like you. And he grabbed Brian, and he saw that Brian was the one bleeding, and he saw that he was pretty much in shock. And he escorted him away to take him to the nurse's office. And then a bunch of other teachers showed up. They started yelling. People had to get back into the classroom, and then one of the teachers came up to me, and they're like, you got to go to the principal's office. Yeah, I know. But I got to get my glasses first. And I picked my glasses up out of the snow, and they hadn't broke. But the lens had come out, and I didn't realize at that time that you could just pop a lens out and pop it back in. I was trying to figure out, how am I going to get this lens back in without my dad knowing? It was crazy. And then one of my friends came up to me, and his name was Paul, and he had a karate belt. And he's like, my God, dude, you're bleeding. I'm like, no, man, I ain't bleeding. That's all him. And he's like, really? That's him? And he was so excited. I'm just like, whatever. And he's like, let me get some of this blood. And he dabbed, because the blood had sprayed onto me. And he dabbed some of the blood on his karate belt. And he was all excited and happy. And then one of the teachers was like, come on, let's go. And off to the principal's office I went. And I had to explain to the principal that it was a predetermined fight, and instead of just, avoiding it, which I could have, I went out there and it turned into what it did. But the school nurse was somebody that I really liked. I thought she was one of the nicest people I had ever met up until that point in time. She had a lot of empathy. She was a very nice person. And after I finished talking to the principal, he told me to go down to the nurse's office. And I remember walking in, and she looked up at me, and she had this look of just pure disappointment on her face. And she said to me, are you happy? And I was crushed. I was devastated. And I said, what do you mean? And she's like, we had to send him to the hospital. He's going to need stitches to hold his lip together. And like I said, I was crushed. And I told her, that wasn't my intention. Problems had been going on the entire year, and finally it turned into that, and he hit me, so I hit him back. And she just kind of shook her head and she said, fighting is never the way to resolve something. And I was really crushed, because she meant something to me. She was a nice person. She had been nice to me on multiple occasions. When I needed someone to talk to, she was there, and the fact that I disappointed her had a big impact on me. It was a very defining moment. I still have regret over that. It was over something stupid, a fight that didn't have to happen. And as it turns out, my friend John was lying the whole time and telling me that Brian was saying stuff that he wasn't saying, and he was telling Brian that I was saying stuff about him that I wasn't saying. So he actually created a majority of the problem. But anyway, moving on. When my dad died, anybody that knows me knows that I didn't have the best relationship with my dad. But when he died, it impacted me in a way I didn't think it would. I didn't think I would be as sad as I was. And I remember I went to the funeral, and I was the first person to speak. I didn't know what I was going to say, but I knew I had to say something. And I stood in front of the casket, and I started to cry. And I told everybody there that I was really sad, because I had always wanted to make my dad proud, and I never did. The person that I turned into wasn't the person he wanted me to be. My dad and I are very different, although we're also very similar in a lot of ways, but we're very different. And I never made him proud of who I was. And I remember talking about that at the funeral. And after the fact, I was talking to my family. And my brother Glenn made a very, very spot-on statement. He said, what John said wasn't for anybody else. It was for him. It was something he needed to say. Bam, just that simple. And that's true. And my dad dying, and my regret over never really doing what it took to make him proud of me really was a defining moment. But what Glenn said was also very defining. And that's why I'm making these videos. I hope that something that I say at some point in time helps somebody. I hope that people watch my videos and like them. And anybody that watches my video and clicks like, I'm going to be very thankful for. And if somebody watches my video and they give me criticism that's negative, but it's constructive, it's not just, oh, this sucks and that's it. You know, if you actually take the time to make a legitimate and valid point, I'm going to appreciate that too. But in the end, the videos that I'm making, they're for me. I have something that I want to say. Maybe I don't know what it is. Maybe I can't get it out right. Maybe it doesn't make sense. But I have things that I want to say, so that's what I'm going to do. And that's what these videos are. But there are a lot of defining moments in our life. I touched on 3. I was going to do more, but I'm going to leave it at 3. And you never know when something you do or say can be positive or negative in someone else's life. You might not know how much you impacted them, but something small can make a difference. Peeling an orange and impressing somebody, or being nice and offering somebody some orange, or just being a friend, caring, listening, being there, saying a positive thing. These can impact people in ways we can't even know. But we can also do things that negatively impact people and that leave guilt and regret for the rest of their life. So, anybody that's watching this, I urge you to think about the defining moments you've had in your life. And then remember that as you're going through your day. Because some of the things that we do can be defining moments for somebody else. And I think we'd all want them to be positive. Thanks for watching, and I hope everybody has a good day.